Well, this brings us to the end of this item on the agenda. Mr. Flanagan has asked for the floor, but there is a risk that if I give you the floor, we're going to open up the whole debate. But you have the floor.
Apologies, I'm also a member of the Agri Committee and we had votes this morning and this is a very, very important topic. I have been following it and my staff were here, so I just have a question for the ECA, if that's okay. Can I ask the ECA if you looked into the whole promissory note deal in Ireland, which became an integral part of the Memorandum of Understanding in that it was included in the area referred to by Mr Hayes earlier. Ireland was forced and is still being forced to borrow £31 billion, which was used to bail out the failed creditors of two failed non-systemic banks. That £31 billion is more than the entire tax take from income tax, corporate tax and capital gains tax for the year 2011 when the programme was implemented. If you haven't yet examined that issue, perhaps even going back to to the institution, also in very questionable circumstances, could they do so now? And finally, for the European Commission spokesman spoke of no cost to EU taxpayers, assured us all that envelopes are being repaid, so there is no cost to taxpayers. There is a cost in individual countries. Is Ireland not a member of the EU? The promissory note costs in Ireland, for example, £6 billion in the last few years. We have borrowed and burnt up into thin air. He also spoke of member states taking programme ownership, that this is crucial for success. Who comes up with these words? It is an imposition. The European Commission and the ECB are the only ones who have ownership. And I apologise again, I wasn't here earlier. I've mastered many things as a politician, but not the gift of bilocation. But we only have 11 members in this Parliament, so I've got to master that. Thank you.
Mr. Flanagan for 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. Very interesting report. As one of the other speakers said, it's reassuring to see site visits taking place. It adds credibility to the report. The report mentions how local authorities were reducing roads funding and replacing it with money from the programme. Now, when I was a member of my own local authority, this became possible, and the look from the top table of the council officials was, we're going to eat up all that money. And they did, and no extra money was provided. So I'm just wondering what can be done to prevent that happening in the future, because in other areas, money going to development agencies in farming through Pillar 2 funding, there's anecdotal evidence there that this is replacing departmental funding, and this money was originally intended to go to farmers and rural communities. And the danger is that while this money it's wonderful, it's coming, but in various areas it just has resulted in no extra funding in the areas because governments or local authorities have reduced funding accordingly. And I'm just wondering, have you seen more evidence of this when it comes to agriculture and money that goes to agriculture, that basically you are putting it into a fund that was originally provided by national governments?